Fender's ready to go in the car. We're gonna go pick up another fantastic fan because that's the model we don't want. We're gonna pick the one model up above that with the automatic lifter thing. Let's go. Whoo, chilly in here. Hey, buddy. So they gave us 6% off because they're nice, but it was still $308 after tax, and Amazon had it for $225. So when you need an RV part in a hurry, you're gonna pay a lot more than Amazon. Oh well, we're happy to have it. It'll be good to install today so I can finish the solar installation. Let's see what's in this box. Alrighty, that looks like a template. We have a smoke top like we like. Alright, let's make sure. Yes, in and out. 3 speeds. Manual lift if necessary. Electric lift. And the thermostat. That is just what I wanted. Got some screws and some wire. Should be a piece of cake once I scrape off all the junk on the roof. And then we have the inner piece. Super easy. You just screw this in from the bottom and screw that to the top. That's my guess. I'm going to read the instructions, but yeah, this baby's just going to go face down. Way less weight and way more functionality and way less room on top than the AC unit.
I'm on my way to go take my ham radio test.
She's been studying like crazy, probably 2 hours a night for the last 2 weeks.
No, not that much. We'll see.
She's gonna pass.
By
First try.
By the skin of my teeth.
That's okay. Good luck.
No.
It's still too cold to mount the solar panels. The tape won't stick yet. So, I'm going to be removing the fantastic fan, getting all the goop off of there, and prepping that. Alright, there's the bed. Kind of fun. Okay, I've got to get all this black foam off and all these Sikaflex underneath it off. One of you in one of my previous videos recommended this. It's a plastic razor blade, and I thought it was a joke. I didn't know they made them. Pretty cool. It should help, you know, scrape this without damaging it or removing the paint. More worried about falling in the hole than falling off the roof. Alright. Try the plastic razor blade. Oh yeah. That's my new favorite tool for this. Not nearly as bad as I thought it'd be.
I'm taking the test at one of the local fire stations. It's only about 20 minutes away from where we're staying, so that's really nice. I know I'm gonna pass. I feel confident that I'm gonna pass. I just don't know if I'm gonna pass the first time, because some of the practice tests I do well, and some of them I just barely don't. But I feel pretty good that I'll walk out with my license.
These are all my different cleaners. Rubbing alcohol, Goo Gone, which is really oily and citrusy, but doesn't like eat your fingers. Goof Off, that's like nail polish remover. This stuff's powerful and potent. And WD-40. Between all those, we should be able to get this off, no problem. What should I start with? I'm gonna just try rubbing alcohol. Oh, that's working great. Ah, dang it. That was not what I wanted. Got another one of these in my pocket. Alright. That's pretty clean. I think it's ready for tape. That wasn't as bad as it could have been. 100% better using these safe scrape blades. I'll put a link to these in the description. They are awesome. Okay, there's a little bit of play in here. And before I mark and drill the holes, I'm gonna attach the bottom piece and make sure that lines up to the corners. That'll help keep it all straight. Here's something I didn't count on. Look how deep that is. My roof is not that thick. That means I'm gonna have to cut this. 'Cause watch. If I put this in here, I've got a problem. So I'm gonna need to trim that down. So that's how tall I need it to be. I need to measure that, cut it off right about there. That is 2 inches exactly. So I need this 2 inches, maybe even a 1/4 inch shorter, tall, all the way around. Probably gonna use the jigsaw to cut this, but it's so brittle and rigid, the last thing I wanna do is crack it and send a big crack down the side. So, gonna experiment a little. Alrighty. See how much I have to trim off. That would be 2.5 inches is what I'm cutting off. Now this will be the right height for the Airstream. We're gonna see if the jigsaw is the right tool. Hope it doesn't rattle it to death. Do a test cut. It's gonna rattle it, but I think it'll be okay. It melts the plastic all over your blade when you do that. I don't know if you can see that. That's interesting. Alright, this is crazy. It cut through it, but it kind of melted it because it was so hot, and it liquefied itself back together. That might actually come in handy when I'm cutting other sides to keep it rigid. We'll see. That is too funny. It's all melted back together. I'm gonna cut the corners. That should do it. There's that with ugly melted blobs all over. Should probably hit it with a sander. Moment of truth. Let's see if this fits. Oh, good. I'm actually kind of surprised that worked. Beautiful. Now it's all centered, I can mark the top and start drilling for those. Excited.
I passed. First time. Yes. So I'm officially a nerd, and I feel really good to not have that hanging over me. There's not really much else to say about it, but it's done. Woo!
I'm so proud of her. She totally deserved that. She studied her brains out at a topic she's not super versed in, electronic theory, and she passed it, and I'm really proud of her.
The guy who graded my test said, "You know the ham angels are singing, right?" He said they especially root for the women who come in to take the test because there's so few of us on amateur radio.
Okay, this is held in tight by those lower 4 screws. Now I'm gonna drill. That's gonna stay there, keep me square when I screw this all in. All right, let's clean her up. Last clean before the tape. Okay, never used this stuff before. Whew. That's interesting. Hold on to it too long and it kind of comes off like putty. I don't know if I should be, well, okay, that answers that question. Yes, it pulls apart if you pull on it. Interesting. This is not a how-to. This is a how-I. which I'm sure is the wrong way. When I screw this down, it's going to suck it down really nice. And I'll have some excess to trim, but that's alright. Just like putty. Probably ideal if you don't break it off like I just did, but this is going to work, I think. Especially with my die core around the outside. Gotta remember to keep the front forward. There we go. Moment of truth. Alright, I'm going to give that a little bit of time for the butyl to start squeezing out, filling in the cracks. I just love saying butyl, especially when you know how it's spelled. Alright, all done up here. Now I just need to go down, solder those wires together, put the bottom case on, and this is done, and I can go back to installing solar. Now let's test it, see if I blew a fuse or not. Oh yeah. Oh, that sucks out a lot of air in here. That gets it way cooler. Alright, let's try the other way now. That's going in. And that's going out. I can't feel it yet. Now I can feel it. That's cool. That'll be nice to have. That is great. Just got to put the trim on, then we're up to the solar panels. Please line up. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Done. So that was supposed to take an hour. It's all done. I need to give it a couple days for all that putty to dry, and then I'm going to put the die core all over it, seal it all up. I've probably got an hour or two of heat left before it's too cold to stick on the rest of the solar panels. So I want to finish putting on all 4 solar panels. Now if you remember, I had to sacrifice 4 of the foot mounts. And I didn't have any tape to put them back on, so I had to order tape. There's lots of VHB by 3M. This is the 4950 model number. I'll put a link to this in the description. We just grabbed it off Amazon, overnighted it here, and now I can finish taping those and get everything ready to go so I can mount my 4 remaining solar panels. Hopefully I can get that all done tonight. If not, no big deal. I'm pretty proud of myself. With the AC unit gone, I can fit 4 from here back. That's huge. That means I could further put one here, one there, and one there. So I could fit 300 more watts if I wanted to. I'm proud of that. Goes right around those, right around these. Could probably put 2 right there if I didn't put one right here. That's going to work nicely. And then over here, I'm going to run my 4G antenna so I can crank it up and point it around. Stole that idea from Bold Adventure on Airforms. I've stolen a lot of ideas from him. He's got a lot of this stuff figured out. So glad I swapped out that AC unit for many reasons, especially because now I can fit more solar up here. Things aren't exactly symmetrical on the Airstream roof. This skylight's way offset to the side. That's centered. But even these bathroom vents aren't centered. I don't think the hallway's even centered. So this won't be perfectly symmetrical, but it's going to work out just fine like that. Also, I'm starting to think it might be worth the peace of mind to screw down each mount. Now, they're not going into studs. They're just going into that outer skin of aluminum, which the tape should be plenty to keep on there. But it gives me peace of mind, and it's one less thing to check down the road if I screw them down. And I just put 16 screws into the fantastic fan, drilled 16 holes there. there's holes all over this roof for all sorts of things. So putting in 2 holes per mount and gooping them up and sealing them isn't really a big deal to me anymore. And if we do sell this, it's probably going to be sold with the solar panels on it. Who knows, maybe not, but I feel good about screwing in each bracket. I don't think it's needed, but it gives me good peace of mind at this point. Here goes nothing. Ideally, you would put these on a stud every time, but you don't have that option. You gotta put it where you can. It's not the most rigid place, so I'm definitely screwing that one in, but it's adhered to the aluminum, the top sheet. Okay, ready to be stuck. All right, babe, you ready for another one? I think it's a little too cold to be running the VHB on the last guy, so we are gonna call that good for tonight for the panels, but I'm gonna screw them and silicone them and die core them. Here goes nothing into the insulation. All right, and I'm gonna come back with the die core and a screw and get them all in there. Last step, I'm just gonna squirt these with a little bit of sealant so they suck down and seal a little bit, and then I'll totally seal all over them on a warmer day.